Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be another Stormgate cast, and I'm Algorithmore, and this is TeenyWeenyTV. Back again. And his opponent this time, you love him because he's the people's champ. It's Dutchy. Dutchy playing the Vanguard? What? Yep, he's out there playing the Vanguard right now, and he told me he had a Vanguard game that was good enough for all of you. And so here we are. Dutchy showing us his style. The 6 servo send. Is it the 4 servo? Is it the 5 servo? No, it's the 6 servo send for Dutchy. While continuing to add workers over here. Well, we saw this during intros, but it was a vault out there to get started. And we've got a effigy helping the Shrine of TeenyWeeny. And, ooh, I do really like this. We saw this in the last game with TeenyWeeny too. Immediately splitting his brute. First brute out. Getting that scout data. Get that information. And especially on Furious here, you don't know where your opponent is. We don't have those free scouting units like we used to. I think that's a good change. And now you have to build your brutes and your fiends so that you can scout with them, or if you're a Vanguard player, you have to build an actual scout. And boom, that scout pops out just as the fiends show up. And I think the fin, oops, pardon me on that bug. But I think the fiends win this if we don't take into account cabbage. Oh, Dutchy, eat the cabbage. He ate the cabbage and he runs away. And TeenyWeeny did get a scout. And for Dutchy, keeping the fiends on his scout is not actually that bad, as it means they're not in his base causing havoc. They're just tracking his scout. And they might catch it. Ooh, they got it on the high ground. Oh, what? Why did they not re-aggro? Something happened there. I think we saw that in one of the earlier matches too with some Lancers. But the scout's now going to come in and see what he got. You got some vaults. Actually, he just chills for a second. Doesn't actually go in to see. Whoa, 4 vaults. Lots of vaults. What's that, another vault? 5 vaults. And we do have Infernals. The Infernals, they're Norwegian or something. But the Infernal Fury is about to finish. And I guess this is a build. This is a build. I'm interested in it, but it's, you don't build any brutes. You built that first brute to get the fiends out, and we got 1 fiend there. But then it was just all macro, because I don't know if I mentioned, but we got a base over here. We got a base over here. We got a base even going down over here. So it was all macro until it was time to drop down the 5 vaults after the first one, which you need, of course. And then I imagine we're going to see a ton of brutes coming out in a second. But until then, it looks like we've been seeing a lot of Luminite being spent on workers. In fact, is there any? Oh, maybe all of the Ethereum mining will come from down here. Now, I haven't been watching, but Dutchy, he has been building units. In fact, TeenyWeeny still hasn't built any. Is this like an intentional, I'm not going to build any units until you actually come to my base kind of scenario? He does have a bank, although I lie. He just spent that bank on a bunch of brutes. And Dutchy's over here taking the speed camp and is, yeah, planning to move in and make some imps pay, but the imps immediately turn and run. Oh, that's the Lancer. AoE. Oh, these other, they don't know what to do. They just turn to die. Ah! But in come the brutes, and they've got that Infernal Fury, as we said earlier. They've already got the research done. A couple Lancers pay the price for coming in, but the rest of them just run away, as you want to do. And we see some promotes going down, trying to add some health back to some of the ones that took damage. And the brute, wow, just this is what happens. The six vault build, and here we go. Brute's coming in, going straight for Servo. Servo's also quickly pulled, but they turn to fight or turn to repair. They do kind of get surrounded. Lancers and Exos showing up. Lancers in the back, not sure how to get to the front line, but they were enough to push this back, and with the actual repair, I think it was only a few servos maybe that went down there. And the Brute Ball had to retreat back out. And the Bio Ball, Speedy Legs McGee, rushing around. But deciding not to engage. So I wonder if the intention of this build here is to hit with that sort of large strike there after the Infernal Fury, with your six vaults, producing as many brutes as you can. Ooh, we got Hellborns to follow it up with a Magmadon. So Dutchy was able to defend that original push. Look at this, more bases going down over here for TeenyWeeny. TeenyWeeny's really trying to keep the macro going. The Vision Tower gets taken out, which is going to allow Dutchy to see that this is exactly where TeenyWeeny is. And there's going to be an engage here in the middle of the map. Nightfall goes down. Dutchy pulls back. It continues to try and micro. A few Lancers going down. Maybe a few brutes to pay for that, but Dutchy gets away mostly unscathed. Eats a cabbage. Scout over here scouting, as scouts do. Ooh, and a Vulcan. Some med techs. But another engage coming as brutes come in with a nice run in, but they pull back. Not sure. They are getting melted by the Exos, and maybe that was the idea, was to not be in face there. But Dutchy, instead of stepping forward and just tearing through a lot of Hellborn here, and that's an expensive price to pay for TeenyWeeny. And with Exos, a lot of them with some veterancy, this is a pretty good force for Dutchy. He's also up maybe about 50 supply right now. And TeenyWeeny still has these bases doing quite well. A lot of them look saturated. Well, I say we now have a Twilight Spire because it looks like it just finished, but it always looks like it just finished when you go spot it the first time. We've got our Shadow Cleft up, and we've got, for the first time, a Conclave, I think. Oh, my bad. My bad. Dutchy came in here and deleted the shrine so fast I didn't even notice while I was taking account of the production buildings for TeenyWeeny. Now, TeenyWeeny has invested in a lot of tier 2 tech here with Magmadons and Hellborn. Brutes, I think in the current meta I think a few more brutes would help. I can see the idea. You want to get that those Magmadons on top of the bio and hope for those great stuns. But you really need that tier 3 tech. Raging Tendons, do we have it researching? Yes, we do. It's up there up at the top. As well as the Binding Saliva for the Spriggans. So the Spriggans will help here, I think. But another base is going to go down here. And despite these being mining for a while and definitely paying for themselves, they are a pretty big investment. Lots of imps went down. Double farm. There's an imp up here. Oh, Dutchy. That's just extra punishing. Finds the imp. And kills it off too. It's just an imp, you say, but that imp was already over there. Possibly was able to put down another base right away, but now TeenyWeeny will have to march units over there. And this army is starting to look like it wants to finish the game. Ooh, and it's positioning himself right in the back here, while TeenyWeeny's actually coming in at an awkward angle, but does take time to try and maneuver his units a little bit better. Get them in a better position, and his Brute's doing better there. Magmadon's coming in from all sides. That's some serious Magmadon stomps there. In fact, is this going to be a hold? I think so. This was a really nice attack move from Dutchy, but I think from the great positioning from TeenyWeeny there, that really worked out. I love how the positioning there really did things. Oh, and he also threw the Shroud Fall on the whole map. I'm not sure that was needed. It only... But, you know, why not? And able to hold on there. So TeenyWeeny doing a great job. Now, interestingly, Dutchy's still up a ton in supply. So there must have been an army sitting back at home there. He's up 70 supply. I guess TeenyWeeny did end up having to sacrifice his entire army there to kill that army. Looks like he also lost his spires, and that's definitely going to slow down reproduction of an air force. There are a few Spriggans left over from that, but all the forces took some serious damage, and it's now a 100 supply lead for Dutchy. Oh no! This imp went to try and make a base and found that Exo that was still over there. And that Exo is now going to punish this base. Well, Dutchy's actually thinking, hey, I can punish that a little bit better. Huge Air Force showing up. I don't know how this does against Exos. I think it kind of melts. But we'll see. The base melts, certainly. It was one shot. Imps that were transferring also caught out. That's terrible luck. They're going to go down. No more imp buddies. Spriggans over here wishing they could help, but the Exos are too many here. Oh, and it's only Hellborn in behind a couple mags. But I don't know if this is going to be the right answer to the Exos that Dutchy has got. What's training over here? These are some servos looking to go make another base. And it does look like there's Shroud everywhere, but it's not the case. It does look like TeenyWeeny finds this base here. Reinforce goes down from the rampart to protect the command post and the sentry post. There's enough army here, of course, that this, without defending, this is going to go down. TeenyWeeny's committed here, but it looks like Dutchy might be going for a base race, or at least to try and get some damage done. He's going to take out this base. His army's a little maneuverable. The Exos certainly can move around alright, but the Vulcans not so much. TeenyWeeny is, what, chasing servos? Yeah, chasing some servos down here. But he comes back to finish this base, and it does look like Dutchy's going in for a bit of a base race. Some miasmas went down there, which actually did a lot of damage to these Exos, so a lot of them are pretty low. Medtechs there, of course, doing their best to try and keep them healed up. And it looks like TeenyWeeny's coming back, and Dutchy says, fine, I'll meet you on the map. Ooh, a lot of Spriggans just mowed down. And Magmadon's not even able to make it to the front line. before getting stunned down by the Vulcans. And unfortunately being caught here. Ooh, even creeping. TeenyWeeny's army gets wiped, and that's going to be GG.